It was shortly after World War II when then New York City Parks Commissioner Robert Moses planned to erect a tribute to those New Yorkers and members of the greatest generation who served to keep our nation and the world free in every one of the city's 5 boroughs. Of the 5 memorials planned, only the World War II memorial in Brooklyn was actually completed back in 1951 to honor the over 300,000 men and women from Brooklyn who served. Shockingly, it has not been accessible to the public for decades. For over 60 years, it has stood in Cadman Plaza Park, unutilized and almost forgotten. Only a handful of people have ever set foot inside this building to observe its sacred wall of plaques dedicated to the over 11,000 Brooklynites who paid the ultimate price during World War II. But there's one man on a mission, fighting to bring this memorial back to the people.
Hi, my name is Toba. We're here in Cadman Plaza Park, and this is the home of the Brooklyn War Memorial. It is Brooklyn's World War II memorial. 300,000 people from Brooklyn served in World War II. 12,000 of them never came home again. Their sacrifice, their lives, is memorialized inside this memorial. On the other side of this wall is the Wall of Honor, and on the Wall of Honor is a list of 12,000 names of people from Brooklyn who served and died during World War II. This memorial has been closed to the public for 30 years. I live in the neighborhood, and I saw every holiday the park would be filled with flags. And it took me about a year or so to find Jack and Roy Vanasco. And every year on Veterans Day, Memorial Day, they come to the park and they line the park with American flags.
I was in the United States Navy on a destroyer. Jack was in a tank corps. We were 4 brothers who served in World War II at the same time.
We put the flags up all around the buildings here and everything to remember some of the fallen veterans that got killed during the war. That's our way of remembering them, that we're still doing active duty here.
Young people like ourselves left high schools to join up when they were 17, 18 years old. On my ship, they were more than 20 years old. And if anybody was on the ship like was 25 years, 30 years old, we called them old men.
The names on the walls inside the memorial, those names are kids. For Jack and Roy, all those guys that are listed on the Wall of Honor will always be 17, 18, 19 years old, forever. Talking to Roy and Jack is like touching history. Eventually, as I got to know them, I went back to their store. Their shop is amazing. One of the most awesome appliance stores you could ever want to be part of.
Somebody wants something, I know what drawer, where it is in each drawer, whatever it is.
These are pictures of our Jack and I's memories as we grew up. So, oh, here they are. That's Jack.
It's called All Appliances, but what it is it's almost like a museum.
It is a museum. Definitely a museum.
See, we work well together. Roy, this is you with Borough President Howard Golden, but I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah, Jack.
That's Jack?
Yep.
3 World War II vets right here.
Right.
Jack, you look better now.
Jack and I have been going to American Legion posts all these years, and everyone promised that they were going to help keep this place open. So people can at least walk in and walk out and see what them 12,000 names that are on that wall. The building needs a lot of repairs inside and outside. Veterans who are disabled in wheelchairs can come there, put themselves on an elevator, and get up to the first floor and go into the building.
The Parks Commissioner in the 1940s, Robert Moses, the infamous Robert Moses, commissioned 5 World War II memorials, 1 in every borough. But this is the only one that was built. When I talked to the vets who were around as the memorial was being built, they said the concept behind this memorial was to counter what Hitler was trying to create, and sort of that this would be a free center, so that any faith, any group of people could come in and rent this space and have a celebration in here, or have like educational seminars inside here. This was a community space. This was a civil arts space, and so that's what we hope that it'll be. We're working on this for about 4 years or so, and sort of raising awareness. On this deck out here, we had 26 World War II veterans last May that we honored, just to say thank you. 2 of them are no longer with us in a matter of just a couple of months. And I'm just honored by the fact that I got a chance to know them. This is about saying thank you. Those people who sacrificed, whether they were in Europe or whether in the Pacific, their sacrifice benefited the rest of the world. I think it will be inspiring to future generations. I think that it will inspire people to look at the names of the people who did sacrifice, and it could have a profound effect on their lives, whether it leads to any kind of service, whether it's military service or political service or service in the community. I think that is inspiring.
Joining us now is the man behind the move to make Brooklyn's World War II Memorial a place for all of us to enjoy, Toba Petusky. Toba, welcome to you. What sort of reaction are you getting when you're getting out there and saying to people, we need to do something to bring this memorial back?
Every time we talk to somebody, people turn to us and they say, how can we help? It started with our state senator, Dan Squadron, and then Joanne Simon, who's now our assemblywoman. He talked to us about becoming a 501c3 nonprofit. She helped us become a 501c3. Our city council just got us money to help take care of the grounds for the memorial. And then, of course, in August, the borough president, Eric Adams, contacted us.
Yeah, tell us that story.
That was amazing. So as you saw, in May, we honored the 26 Brooklyn World War II veterans who are still with us. And it was beautiful. And the Navy came out with a marching band, the Air Force came out, and Eric Adams was one of the speakers. And he saw what was happening, what we were doing. And then his chief of staff said to me at the end of the event, he said, you know, we need to talk about this a little bit. This is at the foot of the Brooklyn Bridge. As you come over the Brooklyn Bridge, here is this memorial that nobody knows anything about. And he said, we should really focus a little bit on it. And then in a matter of weeks, they called me and said, you know, we want to talk to you. And they said, we're going to commit $1 million towards the restoration of
What did you think when you heard that?
When he said that to us, said it to me, and then I got this big paper check that said $1 million, it's beyond belief. It's beyond belief, but I'll tell you something, for anybody who's been involved in something that you're passionate about, I know what the goal is, right? And so $1 million, I know the checklist, and I know maybe that gets us a ramp because it's not handicap accessible. So a ramp needs to be built, and something that is worthy of the memorial. It's a granite and limestone building, so it needs to have that type of ramp.
What's your vision for it? And I say you, I mean everybody who's involved.
For all of us, and so we're, you know, just so you know, to be fair, we're partnered up with the Parks Department. We've partnered up with elected officials and private, you know, donations. The vision for the memorial is self-sustaining. It has to be a self-sustaining memorial, education center, veteran center, a place for seminars and also celebrations, which was the original goal. I think we had talked earlier, and I had said, you know, it's amazing, the more I learn about how the memorial began and how we parallel that group. You know, there was a group of people, it started with the publisher of the Brooklyn Eagle, who had said, Philip Schroth, who had said, you know, we really need to move on this. And it was really in 1944 when he started talking about it. And they started a nonprofit and raised $520,000. And the city, with the help of the Parks Commissioner, Robert Moses, they donated the land, which became the parkland. And so together they put it together. And now we're working with the Parks Department.
So it's almost a closing of the circle.
It was 70 years,
60,
you know,
70
since the war
some
ended,
years ago.
You know, it is amazing. But I have to say, to get to your question, is that people have reached out to us in every way that they can, and they said, we want to be a part of it. And even like big and small, we rake leaves on weekends around the memorial. We tend the grounds, you know, in association with the Parks Department. You know, yesterday we had 24-year-olds from a local school, preschool, come in, and we bought rakes about this size. And they came and they cleaned up, and they're a part of the park, you know, and that's something that the Brooklyn Parks Department commissioner had said to me. He said, one of the things that we're doing is we're connecting people to the park like never before. And I'm an example of it because I've lived across the street for 30 years not knowing what this building was.
Well, it's a great story of what people of good heart and good soul can do to remind us of that greatest generation, especially as we are losing them. And Toba, thanks for spending some time with us, and good luck.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.